What's up, guys? It feels like it's been forever since I uploaded a video, but finally we're starting to get settled down into our new house. We're done with the whole moving situation, so I figured it's time to pick up the camera and get back to it. Now, I wanted to continue what I was doing with my mini trucks since I am gonna be somewhat busy with trying to get the Celica and the Tercel finished. And since my mini truck video did so good compared to my other videos, I figured might as well keep it going. So on this episode, we're gonna lower the back, not using blocks. And we're gonna do it this way. So there's a few options for our trucks. 1, bag it. 2, block it. 3, drop leaves. I decided to go the drop leaf option because I'm not really into airbags. I do not want to get into plumbing stuff up and having a compressor in the back. But anyways, these right here are the Streetedge drop leaves. According to their site, it's supposed to be a 3-inch drop. But since it is a brand new spring, I don't know if it's gonna be a true 3-inch drop, but we'll see. So if you're gonna run drop leaves instead of blocks, it's gonna change the mounting position of where your shock's gonna go, which means now you have to go with a shorter shock. So for now, I'm gonna try out these. They are for a Chevy P2. They're the front shocks with load adjusters on them, so that way they can handle a bit more weight. I'll make sure to post all part numbers and links in the description in case you guys wanna do it this way, unless you have another way that you wanna try it. It's your truck, do your thing. But anyways, let me go ahead and get one side disassembled, compare everything, make sure everything looks nice and tidy, and start putting it all together. Alright, so I finally got the driver's side taken apart. The U-bolts are gonna be kind of a pain in the ass because they were hanging so low. Since the U-bolts were hanging so low, every time I would go over a speed bump, basically would get bent. So I had to cut them off. I might have to purchase new ones. I'm not sure if I could reuse these. I'm gonna figure that out. So for you guys that are still stock, keep your stock ones. Also wanted to do a comparison of the stock Leafspring compared to the Streetedge one. This one is the 3-inch drop one. Still a 3-spring design. Looks like the helper spring is being held in by some sort of like set screw. It looks like not only did they reverse the eyelets, but the springs themselves also look to be slightly de-arched. They feel a lot stiffer compared to these. And I also wanted to compare the two shocks. So here's the old load adjuster that I had in here. This is just a stock Toyota load adjuster you can get at AutoZone or O'Reilly's. It's for a stock height truck. This is for the Chevy P2. And as you can tell, from eyelet to eyelet, it's got about a good 4-inch difference. Eyelet to eyelet, it's got a good 4, almost 5-inch difference. So with a drop, these shocks should actually work pretty fucking well. Let me throw on the new leaf spring, figure out the U-bolts, and then I'll hop over and do the passenger side. Alright, so I ran into a bunch of issues, but finally got the driver's side done. It honestly doesn't look that bad. Over here on the passenger side, I still have the 4-inch block, and it's honestly not that much of a difference in height. I am still gonna run a 1-inch block in the rear just to get the pinion angle corrected. I'm gonna try to get those off of Beef Taco if he's still around. But yeah, one of the biggest issues I was having was specifically with the shocks. This upper mount fits perfectly. This bottom mount has a sleeve pressed into it that just does not want to fit. So I'm gonna have to go to a shop tomorrow, see if they can press those out, and I'll just throw in some new bushings. So for now, I'm just gonna leave the driver's side spring on. I'm not gonna touch the passenger side until I get these pressed out. And hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to work on the passenger side one since it is starting to get a little late. So I'm gonna just clean up a little bit and we'll continue this tomorrow. What's up, guys? So yesterday I had to call it quits a little bit early. I had to figure out some stuff that was going on with that rear shock. So what I ended up doing is I took it over to a shop, had them press out the old bushings, and I installed these energy suspension N.8107Gs. So I went ahead and finished up the whole driver's side, and it actually came out really decent. Let me go ahead and hop under and show you guys what I got. So here you see this Streetedge drop leaf, and these right here, let me see if I can get some light. These right here are the load adjuster shocks. They measure 15 inches from mounting point to mounting point. So it literally lined up perfectly. So now I'm gonna hop over, I'm gonna do the passenger side. This time I'm gonna give a bit more of a detailed breakdown on exactly what I'm doing, because to be honest, I was trying to figure out what I was doing with the driver's side. Let me get that wheel off, let me start taking the leaf spring off, and let's get going. So I got everything pretty loosened up. You're gonna have two 19-inch nuts that are holding in the inner bracket for the leaf spring. Once you remove these two, this side stays on, and you're gonna remove the leaf spring out of the bolt on this side. Then you got 4 more 19s holding the leaf spring plate onto the block. Then you have 2 14s that are holding the suspension. As soon as you loosen those, everything will drop. I have everything basically loosened up. Let me go ahead and drop it. All right, so once you got everything removed, everything should be out and about like this. You're gonna have a top plate that goes on the top of your lower end block if you have one. Then you have this bottom little rubber bushing that sits on top of the leaf spring plate that goes under. So first and foremost, let's get this old shock out. We'll get the old leaf spring out. We'll get the new one in, and we'll keep going with this. Oh shit, looks like we got a little bit of rain. Gonna have to finish this up. Hopefully the rain stops in a little bit, if not tomorrow morning. So let me pick up some of my tools and go back inside the house. Shit. All right, that was random California weather. Started raining, then all of a sudden it just stopped. Let's go ahead and get this leaf spring installed so that way we can get the bottom plate and the shock installed. First things first though, we gotta cut these U-bolts to fit. The only reason I have to cut it is because I had the extended U-bolts from the BELLTECH drop blocks. If you have your stock ones, you don't have to cut anything. So let's get started. All right. So now that we got our shock soft installed, just hand tightened, we went ahead and put the upper plate back onto the leaf spring. Now we're gonna put the lower plate on there. We're gonna jack it up until it meets up with the actual rear end, and then we're gonna bolt it all into place.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Alright guys, so my camera died and it's been raining, but I got my truck finished, so I figured I might as well show you guys what it looks like now. I don't know if you guys can see too much under there, but that right there is the Chevy P2 load adjuster shock, and these are the Streetedge 3-inch drop leafs. As you can tell, no more block hanging super low under the car. So basically those shocks fit perfectly from mounting point to mounting point. They're exactly 15 and I think an eighth. And with those 3-inch drop leafs, it leaves 15 inches exactly between both mounting points. And that extra spring on there just adds a little bit of help whenever you guys want to use the back of your trucks to, you know, haul around some stuff. So time to take this thing for a test drive. I know it's rainy, but hopefully we can get a few good feelers in there. I didn't really do too much talking. I was mostly just kind of focusing because it's raining a little bit and we do have a lot of cops in town. And they do not like speeding, so I was trying to watch my speeds also. One thing I can tell you is that this new suspension mod makes the back feel nice and stiff. Every time I hit a bump or any sort of crack in the road, I no longer have those super nasty dunk feelings that you get from it. Personally, I would like for the rear to have at least an inch more of drop. I'm thinking of taking my BELLTECH ones over to a steel supply and having them cut it with the bandsaw, since those blocks come pre-angled and I only need an inch, maybe inch and a half. But yeah, overall, the rear end feels so much nicer, a lot tighter, and you also don't have that nasty rebound that you usually get, especially when you have blocks. So before I do the drop blocks in the rear, I am thinking about doing a notch in the frame, just in case that rear end wants to ride up a little higher. But yeah, this is definitely a must do if you're riding on blocks and you want to stay static, you're not looking into doing air, and you're not looking into doing any sort of crazy coilover 4-link build. So altogether, it was 250 bucks for the Streetedge Leafsprings. It was about $60 for the Chevy P2 load adjuster shocks. And with what I spent in the front, I'm looking at maybe $650 on basically the full suspension mods on this truck. And it honestly has that coilover car feel, you just don't have the adjustability of the coilover. I'm hoping with these videos, I can at least give someone some insight on simple bolt-on options that will make your truck feel so much sportier and so much nicer without also breaking your bank account and having to break out a welder, grinder. I'm basically just doing this for the everyday guy who just wants to order his parts online. He has a basic Craftsman toolkit and he wants to just go out there and have some fun. Also, I wanted to give a huge thank you to everyone that's been liking, subscribing, and commenting on my videos. The more engagement I see, the more it motivates me to want to put out more stuff. But anyways, thank you guys for watching another video. This is IO Garage. Late.